All right, guys, what is up, everyone? Welcome to the second installment of the Card Collectors Corner, C3, if you will. I'm Eric. Do the group here, and then the Marley Sparks breaks and cards, the BOGO breaks. So we're here live tonight to do our second episode. Some of the topics we want to do tonight. We're going to look at the pros and cons of getting into breaks. And then after that, I got burp, excuse me. After that, we're going to look at some modern versus vintage card collecting, like is one better than the other? And then after that, we will check out some product reviews, some stuff that's releasing, and then one thing it just released, I think, yesterday. So, hey, Matt, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother? So that's kind of on the docket for tonight. So we'll go ahead and get started. So the first topic, hey Corey, hopes everything's going well, man. So let's get into the first topic. Our first topic is going to be pros and cons of getting into breaks. So as you know, this is the way to collect cards now. It's the modern way to do it. The affordable way to do it is to buy into breaks. So there's some pros and obviously there's some cons to doing that. And then, put the comments below too, some of the things maybe I missed or I didn't think of or whatever. But one of the most obvious pros is cost. The price of a hobby box of cards is rather expensive. Now, you can buy the retail route. Some of the lower end products, they're not as expensive as some of the other ones. But with retail, the hits are few and far between. They're out there, they are, but they're few and far between. And then, some of your cheaper products may only have one auto or memorabilia card, so you may not even get an auto out of the box. So there's that as well. So for high-end cards, the affordable way is to buy into breaks. So that's one of the pros as well, saving a little money. The other pro is you get to collect the team that you want. So with the pick your team style, obviously that's the case. You get to pick the team you want. There is random teams from time to time, so you won't get your team there, but it's still cost effective. And then the type of breaks that I do, it's you get to pick a team plus get a team. So, and then the philosophy behind that for me is, everybody has a favorite team. So you get to pick that team, or you get to pick a team maybe that you feel has great cards in it, and then you can get a second team randomized to you that you may also get a great hit in, which happens quite often actually. Or you get that second team and you get the cards, you can sell them off, get you a few dollars back from your break, get into another break, whatever the case may be. So that's the two biggest pros for getting into breaks is team collecting and the cost effectiveness. So now with that being said, there are a few products, i.e. Flawless, that is out of a lot of people's price range. So that product kind of is out by itself. It's an outlier. So, but those are things. Now the biggest con is nothing in return, which happens from time to time as well, either via no cards or no hits. I have gotten into many breaks and not received a single card. So there's that gamble as well. That is the con. But as I've noticed over the years, though it tends to balance out. Because I would go a break or two and get nothing or just receive base cards, which I personally like base cards just fine. It's a representation of my players I like, teams I like, things like that. But, I'm a card head, so. But then I would go a couple of breaks and just wreck it, just hit after hit, just wreck a break. So for me, it kind of bounces out. That is a con of a break, especially if you're only a part-time participant, is that you could, here are my hits. and there's nothing there. So so that's the con for it. Would I suggest breaking to people? Absolutely, especially if you're on a budget, because another pro is you get to meet wonderful people in the hobby. You get to interact with those guys. You have something in common, shoot the breeze, things like that. It's allowed me to meet a lot of wonderful people, not necessarily in person as of yet, but it has allowed me to do that. And I've met more people here in my actual own hometown because of the hobby. So that's another pro too. So for me, the pros outweigh the cons. What's up, Danny? As far as buying into breaks, way more, because like I said, I think they tend to balance out, especially if you buy into breaks, obviously based on your budget, on a regular basis. At least they have for me. So like I said, put in the comments, let me know what you think, pros and cons for breaking. But yeah, it's the modern way to buy cards. It really is. It's the modern way to buy cards. So if I keep cutting my eyes, I'm looking at the chat over there, so I apologize. All right, so second topic is modern versus vintage cards. Now, both cards have cool factors and value factors as well. So I brought some examples here. We'll kind of check them out. We'll look at some vintage first. And Matt, you will probably recognize a few of these. So this is an Al Kaline that I picked up recently. Well, they're not graded or anything like that, but they're really cool. One of the great players there, so that's a really cool card. Also picked up a couple here. So there's a Roberto Clemente a little later in life for him. And then here's a Bob Gibson I got about middle of his career. It's pretty cool. I think that's a 69, and the Clemente's a 70. I got a 71 Hank Aaron I picked up. So as you can, I mean, they have their own qualities. I got these from Matt, actually. These are really cool. And I don't mind if they're not in the greatest shape in the world, because like I said, I like the vintage part, and to me, these cards tell a story. So, what has this card done for the last 80 to 90 years? Where has it been? What has it seen if it could tell a story? So to me, this is what's cool about vintage. And with vintage, they tend to hold their value over time, depending on the player. Your commons can hold some value, especially the ones towards the front of a set or end of a set. From some of the stuff I've read, people used to rubber band their sets together. So when they did that, it would mess up the first card and the last card because of the rubber band. So those two cards tend to be more valuable in vintage sets because of that. So, thanks, Dan. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, these are pretty cool, man. Like I said, like I said, they're not, they're not in perfect shape, they're not graded, but I just love, it's a representation of these amazing players. So, so now we'll look at some modern cards. This is a Felix Hernandez or Jose Hernandez auto that I picked up. So as you can see, it's got perfect sheen, perfect shine. It's graded. You have an autograph there that's on the card, so that's pretty cool. And so here's a Alex Reyes auto patch from 2017 Tier 1. So it has a patch inside with the autograph. So that's pretty cool. And then I have a Jose Canseco on-card auto from Flawless. It's 2016 Flawless card. So that's pretty cool. So you can kind of see, let's pull out old Bob here. So you can kind of see the difference between vintage and modern. Very flashy, very nice, worn. But so will this card hold its value more than this card? So I think that over time that these could end up holding their value a little more, and I'll tell you why. Because more and more of these cards are being found each day, and the ones that are getting found, especially if they're in good condition, they're getting graded. and put into sleeves and stuff like that. So they're being preserved. So, you know, back then when they produced this card in '69, you know, they could have produced, you know, 500,000 sets of them. You know, whatever the numbers are, this arbitrary number. Whereas this particular Flawless card is number 23 of 25. So for the end of time, there are only 25 versions of this card with this autograph on it, which makes it valuable because there's only 25 ever produced of this particular version. So as time progresses, some of these could get lost or never found or never opened. So that makes that 25 15 of this particular card. So, and it depends on the player too to see if the value goes up. I think it's like a portfolio. You should have a mixture of everything. I think you should have some vintage and some modern cards. They both have their own cool factors, in my opinion. But if I was going to be a hardcore collector, I would personally collect modern on-card autographs. I think those would be the most valuable as time goes on, and they will hold their value. When you look at vintage cards, I think, for me personally, I collect vintage that are not necessarily in the greatest shape in the world, because you can get them, you know, at a decent price. I'm trying to see who else I got here. Now, here's a couple other, you know, cool cats I picked up from that Matt hooked me up with too. They're just cool, man. They're just really cool. So, and I think they will increase in value over time as well, just depending on depending. But I think, you know, more vintage cards could be discovered, especially as that generation tends to move on in life, whereas your modern cards are numbered now and there's only so many, even though they claim the market's flooded. They're numbered for a reason because there's only that many of that variation of that card. So, but like I said, for your portfolio, I would have a good mixture of both. I think if you have a little mixture of both, I think you'd be good, and you can have some value to your portfolio and to your kids. So, because Henry and Max end up getting all of these probably. So, like I said, tell me what you think in the comments. If you guys are watching, or if anybody watches later, tell me what you think, and maybe we can discuss it through it a little bit. So, now product reviews. So coming out June 6th is Topps Finest Baseball. I have a couple of sheets here. So it's going to come out. So the player who's going to be in the die-cast cut set Legends is Cal Ripken Jr. So a very nice player for those two, and it's 2 hits per case for Cal. So some of the new inserts is Setting Red is for power hitters. Cornerstones, showcasing the pillars from franchises, a theme to the 94-95 Topps basketball cornerstone set, which was actually pretty cool. I used to collect Finest back in the day. So you have Finest autographs, Finest first autographs, and Finest hour autographs, which will be new. And I don't know if you guys can see it there. We got a sheet that shows the Finest hour on that side. So those are pretty cool. And then, like I said, Topps Finest, we got the die cut Cal Ripkens, and they are 2 per case. 2 cards in every case. Yep, 2 per case. And then they had the parallels numbered to 50, and then the 1-of-1 version, which will be a very nice card to hit. Topps Finest is one of my favorite products, has been since the 90s. I love it. It's a beautiful card. There are a couple teams that don't have an auto, it doesn't look like. They have some of the higher end, the other inserts with the parallels and stuff like that. But there's a couple teams that don't have autos, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's the nature of the beast. So we'll be doing some BOGO breaks, 2-box breaks of that, and I'll have those posted up actually tomorrow night. So I'll be on the lookout for those. Our football product that's coming out on 6/8 is Luminance football. So I won't show these. The pictures didn't print out very well. So if you haven't got a chance to check this product out, it looks pretty awesome. They do have a draft day signatures rookie class on card auto There's 4 versions of it, I think. It's going to be with white ink, gold ink, and silver ink. So there's 3 variations. I apologize. So those look very nice. So they're spotlight signatures for veteran players. There's a rookie ink, which is not on card, but they have gold, blue, platinum, red, pink, and gunmetal 1-of-1s. Autograph gunmetal jersey cards. Jumbo premium gunmetals. I guess that's what they're calling those. They have luminary inserts, flash inserts. So there's 3 autographs and 1 memorabilia per box. So an opportunity to get some very nice hits out of this stuff. I think we're going to do some 3-box breaks, and those will go up on Sunday. So here, a good price pointed product with 3 autos and a memorabilia card per box. A perfect opportunity to get some good cards. This would be a suggested break for me because of the price point and the opportunity to get a good auto. So that'd be my choice of the week, would be Luminance's football. So, and then finally, I think came out yesterday was Essentials basketball. It has 2 autos per box. So you got License to Dominate, an auto who looks pretty good. You got some rookie team inserts, True Potential signatures, which are very nice. Just a regular rookie autograph. Doesn't say if any of these have parallels. The base does. And then you have Kings of the Court and Invincible Stars. It looks like a decent product. I'm not overly impressed with it. 2 autos per box. It's an okay price point too. But I think there's tons of other basketball product that you would prefer over Essentials basketball. One being Spectra coming out next week that we will take a look at next week. So yeah, Topps Finest, one of my favorite products. Luminance's football, definitely a pick of the week. I would absolutely get into those breaks. And then Essentials basketball, hey, maybe not. So, all right, guys, that'll be it for tonight. I appreciate you guys checking it out, or if you check it out later, that's awesome too. We'll load it up to the YouTube channel. Subscribe there. I also, put our breaks and stuff up like that on the YouTube channel as well. So the link is up top. And I will let you know what our topics will be for next week for Card Collectors Corner C3, episode number 3, and we'll kind of go from there. So, like I said, put in the comments, let me know your thoughts, tell me what you think, what you want to talk about maybe. Hey, we'll do that too. Just let me know. And so appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next week in some BOGO breaks. Have a great night, guys.